y'all, this your girl Shantae Renee, and I'm back with another video. And today, you guys, as you can see from the title below, we're going to be doing a little chit-chat. And as you can see, I have these beautiful ladies with me, and they're going to introduce themselves. Not yet, but soon. But before I get into this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell if you haven't done so already, so that you can be notified when your girl posts more videos. Also, if you have been supporting me for a while, you already know that about 2 years ago, I did a video very similar to this one. It was called Relationship Talk. Go check it out. Got some juicy information in there for you guys. Also, make sure that you comment below so you can talk to me and I can talk back to you. Let's get it. So, we're gonna start with introductions.
Hi, my name is Whitney.
Y'all already know me, so.
I'm Amari. I'm Essence.
And we're here, you guys. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, first question, you guys. Would you date someone who lives out of state?
Oh, I've been there before.
I don't think so. I mean, right now I live like 40 minutes away from my boyfriend, and that's already hard enough. I mean, we see each other like a few times a week, like 3 days out of the week. But I don't know, I feel like it's more convenient and you can build a relationship better if you're in the same place, if that makes sense. But it depends on you.
Honestly, my current boyfriend, he used to live in Louisiana. And he was living there 10 months out of the relationship. We've been together for a year and 2 months now. But yeah, for 10 months, he was out of state. It was hard, but like, we took a week every month to go see each other. And we would alternate months. It was hard.
That's a good
But it
strategy.
was worth it.
Yeah. If you work something out like that, I feel like it'll work.
Yeah, I mean, and now he lives here, so it worked.
I feel that though. I was not in a similar situation. Like, I definitely dated someone out of state, but we didn't have that like set schedule. So I think that was what made it even harder.
Yeah.
Because if we'd actually communicated more, I think the whole thing about long distance is the communication. Because if you aren't communicating in any relationship, but especially long distance, because you don't see them all the time, you don't have like a weekend every week or two to see them, so it's hard. I probably would not do it again personally, but I feel like if I were in an established relationship and then for whatever reason like somebody has a job opportunity or we're doing something, then okay, we can work it out, because we're not starting off like okay, out the gate, how are we gonna make it work?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, because me and my boyfriend, like, we both like to travel. Like, I want to go back to Korea, he wants to go back to Japan. But since we've like established a relationship, I feel like it'll be fine when he goes back or whatever. But if we would have started out that way, like, I don't see how that would have worked.
I still don't see how mine worked, because we started off like that. He messaged me on Instagram. I was like, you live in Louisiana, like, I'm never gonna do that. Like, I was like, okay, but he came out and it just went from there.
It was meant to be. I would date outside of the state that I live in. I don't see anything wrong with it. I just feel like it really depends on the person. It's not for everybody, so I understand that. It's just, if you really want to be with this person, then you will definitely make it work. It doesn't matter, because anybody's soulmate could be anywhere. You know, it doesn't have to be in the same city or state that you live in. It could be anywhere. You just have to make it work. If it's meant to be, it'll work.
Definitely, for sure.
Okay. So next question. How important do you think communication is in a relationship? I know you touched on that a little bit, Essence, so you can go first.
Yeah, top tier.
Yep.
Top tier. Oh my gosh, there have been so many times where even just like the smallest thing can be an argument if you are communicating. Like, oh, I thought we were having wings for dinner. Why'd you get pizza? Like,
He doesn't care about me. He doesn't know what I
want.
Right,
exactly. It's like, it's been 3 years. You think you know. Yeah. Communication, top tier. Yeah. Top tier. If you can't communicate with them, you can't be with them.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like,
I definitely agree. One thing that I noticed that a lot of people, they think they know what communication is, but they really don't, because it's more than just talking. You know, it's deeper than that. You really have to understand when a person is explaining themselves or expressing their feelings. You have truly understand where they're coming from. Like a lot of people just don't even do that. They just do their own thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's very important.
Yeah,
Very important.
communication style, that's important. Because
Yeah.
some people aren't good with words, but they can show it in other ways. As long as you like know what the other person, like how they express themselves or whatever, I feel like that helps out too.
Yeah, kind of like their love language.
Yeah, their love language. That's it. That's so true.
Facts. And that's the thing, you gotta take the time to actually get to know that person. Like, some people just be talking, and they like, okay, that's communication, but if you're not listening and talking to understand that person, yeah, you might be communicating, but you're not really communicating.
Right.
So,
okay. This is the next question. Do you believe that your partner should pay half of everything, such as bills, takeout, restaurants, etc.?
Okay. You go ahead.
I mean, for me, that's fine with me because I feel like we're in this together. It's equal. Like I don't want anyone to have leverage over me and be like, well, I pay more, so. Like, I don't need that in my life, and I like being independent anyway. Like, you know what I mean? So, I'm fine with going. Is that going Dutch? Is that what they call that? Like,
no idea.
Okay, but yeah, good for
Let
me.
us know in the comments if that's right. No idea.
I'm with that though. I feel you. Me and my boyfriend do things, or we try to as much as possible to do things 50-50. But you know, sometimes I like to spoil him, you know, because especially if he's doing things for me, you know, I want to show my appreciation too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of women this day and age like, oh, I just want him to pay for everything. He need to take care of me. He not your daddy. Like,
That's
Exactly.
true.
Exactly.
you don't have your own money. Like,
Right.
Exactly.
Big relate. I definitely agree. I feel like as my relationship has gone on with my boyfriend, because we've been together almost 4 years now, it definitely went from like for sure level to like depends on what's going on.
Yeah, facts.
Because there's some times where it's like, I'm broke, I don't want you to foot the bill, but like help.
Facts.
And then there's other times where he's like, sorry, like I can't do this. Like our second year being together for Valentine's Day, he literally got me a bag of popcorns, and I was okay with that because I was like, the struggle's real right now.
Yeah.
It's cool. You still thought about me.
Right.
You got one of my favorite snacks.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but I think you're right. Like, there comes a point where you're kind of halving it, balancing it back and forth, and just, okay, you need to do all these things for me because we're together.
Yeah.
Like, that, I don't.
And to be honest, like, if I was a guy, I wouldn't want to be with a woman, oh, I just want you to do everything for me. Like, you can't do nothing for yourself.
Exactly. But there's some guys that like doing it. They're like,
I
want to
doing
take
it.
care,
I'm not
you
knocking
know?
you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, but don't feel like you obligated to do that. Because if you're in a relationship, it should be 50-50. Or, you know, like you said, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Like,
Right. How I feel about it, I don't mind doing the half and half thing. It doesn't matter. But if my dude if he want to pay for stuff, I'm not gonna stop him. He can pay for it, but at the same time, I'm gonna do something for him. Like,
for sure.
if he, like, let's say if he goes and pay for our takeout dinner or whatever, the next day or maybe 2 days later, we do it again, I'll pay for it. So just to be equal and be fair, I don't feel comfortable having my man paying for everything.
Right.
He just does something to me, I just can't do that.
yeah.
I can relate. And I think, too, Chris and I have definitely been doing like if he ends up paying for more things, then I do way more stuff around the apartment. You know what I mean? So it's like, he's putting in that effort there, and then I'm putting it somewhere else.
Because it's still even out, like, no
Exactly.
matter, still, it's not money, but I'm still,
Right.
you know,
It's like, I'm still picking up around where we live, doing all these things. Like, I'm not just chilling while you get money
That's
and
important.
take
Facts.
money. You know? Like,
So our next question. So what is expected of a partner? So what are your expectations?
in what specifically?
Just in somebody who you want to be with.
Like, what do you look for in a partner?
Yeah.
That's a loaded question. I feel
Yeah,
like it
it's
depends.
kind
Like,
of-
I
yeah.
always end up with someone that I didn't expect to be
Yes.
with, so it's such a
That's
hard
where I'm
question.
at. Yeah.
You know,
because I did not expect to be.
Those are the best relationships, though.
Yeah. Like it kind of just ended up like.
Yeah, because you get to learn more about the person when you aren't like from their world, or like you
Yeah.
aren't around. It's like meeting someone new. You know, you never like you may not be involved in the same thing, so you have more to talk about because you want to like share your life, and then they share their life, and you get to learn more stuff. I don't know.
Because if somebody would have told me I was gonna have a boyfriend that lived in Louisiana, I would have told them, y'all lying. Like, like I don't know though. I would say I have to be able to trust my partner. Like, that's one of the number one things. If I can't trust you, I can't be with you. Like, what are we talking about? You know?
I definitely feel that.
Because it's like I don't want to sit there and worry the whole time we're in a relationship. Like, what is he doing? Is he cheating on me? Like, what?
Yeah, anybody
It's
got
not.
No time.
It'll drive you crazy.
For sure.
Yeah, I think too, someone that has, like we said before, has good communication skills. Like that's number one. I cannot be with someone that like, if they're upset about something, they just keep it in, and then they want to exactly, and then they want to lash out later and say like, "Oh, you didn't do this for this many years," and it's like, I didn't know.
So why you didn't say nothing then when you felt like that?
4 years
Right.
ago,
Exactly.
4 years ago at the barbecue, you could have told me, you know,
Right.
like that I said that. Like,
You didn't like the macaroni and cheese. Well, my bad, I want to put it on your plates.
right.
Exactly.
Like,
Communication and honesty.
Yeah.
Honesty is a big one
Yes.
too, because
100%.
you already know, like,
yeah.
you run into a bunch of issues. You don't just be upfront. Like, I don't know. That's just my big thing.
I agree.
I also agree.
So our next question, how do you feel about being submissive in a relationship?
It depends. Yeah, like it depends. Honestly, I feel like I'm more submissive in a relationship. Like, I don't try to be, but I'm more so go with the flow. Like, I'm pretty chill, so I don't try to be too like, I don't know, controlling. You know, because I've been in past relationships where I was, you know, being controlled. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be like that person.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just, you know, chill out. But when I have to put my foot down, I'm gonna tell you like this, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Well, I personally, I don't have a problem with being submissive in a relationship. I just feel like if I know the guy that I'm with, we're like serious in our relationship, then, you know, I respect his decisions. You know, if it's something that I don't agree with, I'll let him know that I don't really agree with that. But, you know, if he's taking care of me in the house like he's supposed to, then I don't mind him saying, well, you know, I think I'm gonna make this decision because this may be best for us. And I'll say, okay, because he's the man of the house, so I don't mind it. It's not a problem.
I don't know.
I definitely am. Listen, I'm not bossy, but I definitely am my mother's child because he's very chill, very quiet, like he's himself, and I mean, y'all know I am. I'm very rowdy, so when I want something, I'm like, I want to do this. Do you want to? And 9 times out of 10, he's gonna say yes. Like, and it's not because I'm being mean about it or because like he knows if like he says no, I'll get mad because I like if you don't want to do it, then you don't want to do it, you know.
yeah.
But he's just kind of like you are, like, okay, whatever, you know. I guess that's just what we're gonna do. But I definitely am more dominant most of the time, not intentionally, but it's just like I know how I want something to be.
Yeah.
So if I want it to be that way, I'm gonna tell you. And then if it's not that way, then I'll be gonna get a little attitudinal and be like, hey, can you do this thing again that I asked you to do? And then he's like, oh, my bad, okay. But yeah, I'm definitely unintentionally a little more dominant, but not all the time.
I feel though, like in certain situations you can't be submissive. I feel like especially when you, like you said, you want something to be done the way you want it to be done. You know that's the right way, and they not doing it like.
Yes, and
what you're doing, like, you know, like,
and it's just the same. This would be a whole other video.
And I feel like all men feel like they're right about everything. So
it can be like that, yes.
I don't know. It depends on the situation. Like, I'm the kind of person, if I come to you with something, I'm like, I don't think we should do it that way. And they say, well, I'm going to do it this way. Then you're going to do it that way, and I'm going to go over here and do whatever I want my way.
Yeah.
So, and that, you get to keep what you want to do, and then I get to do what I want to do, and we're both happy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person I am. So
That's fair. I feel that.
depends on the situation, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. So our next question: why do you think marriages are not lasting in this era?
Cause like I said earlier, these women nowadays want somebody to just take care of them. Like I want to be taken care of too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like I don't know if y'all have seen it though. Like people are posting on Instagram, oh, if you not paying me on giving me money on Cash App and sending me stuff, I can't talk to you. I'm like,
What is wrong with people?
That's
I
your
don't get
significant
it.
other, not your pimp.
Exactly.
like exactly. What are we doing?
Exactly.
I don't understand.
I don't know. A lot of people don't. I don't think people in our generation are taking relationships as seriously as they did before. Because it's just like, oh, you know, yeah, I'm in a relationship, but I'm gonna go talk to this person and that person over there. It's all good.
Yeah,
Like,
I think people are constantly chasing happiness, and like you see the ideal person on social media or like relationship on social media, and you think that everything's supposed to be like roses and daisies and flowers and everything, but in real life that's just not how it is.
No.
You're gonna get tired of the person that you're with after 10 years, and you're gonna have to exactly
You have to
you're
work
gonna
it
have
out.
to put in the work to make it like
and they don't want to put in the
and
work.
people don't want to put in the work. They just think, okay, well, if you're not working for me anymore, I'm going to go with this new person that's exciting, that's also going to bore me in 10 years.
Yep.
And I think you are right about the social media thing, because people only put their best parts of
That's
themselves on
all.
social media.
There you go.
Like you don't
Exactly.
see the fights and stuff being thrown and people being cheated on. Like all you see is,
The
oh,
happy
we
parts.
went to the mountains for his birthday. Oh, he proposed at the mountain, or we did all this.
Yeah.
But you don't see that they fought literally 2 minutes before that picture,
Yeah.
and their relationship is like.
Exactly.
And then a lot of people idolize celebrity relationships.
And they be,
They
to
be
the
breaking
they be
up
going
after
through.
10
minutes.
Come on
True.
now.
Y'all don't know what them folks got going on. It looks all pretty and stuff on social media, like you said, but behind closed doors,
don't know.
And then speaking of celebrities, I don't know if you guys are familiar with DaBaby and
oh
Danny
my
Lee.
gosh.
And who?
Danny Lee.
You ain't see that stuff on Instagram?
I don't follow it. I don't know.
I don't know who.
Okay.
I don't think I know who Danny Lee is. I know who
She's
the baby
saying-
is.
It's a song. I forgot what it's called. But she's has a song with Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Maybe
Never mind. I know what
a year
you're talking
or two
about.
older.
I know what
Oh,
you're
now.
talking about.
I can't think of it.
Maybe it came out last year, I think. But so her and DaBaby were obviously dating, and he supposedly cheated on her and went back to his ex-girlfriend or baby mama. Ended up getting her pregnant. And
The baby mama?
yes.
Again? Like a
Yes.
second?
Wait, the baby mama or
And
the
the
baby?
side both.
I don't know.
The
I'm like,
baby got his baby mama pregnant.
Okay, I'm
Again.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brain.
Lots of babies.
And
And the girlfriend
yeah,
had the
and
baby.
Danny Lee, who he was dating, he had a baby with her. He got her pregnant, and she just had a baby this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. And he went on live and pretty much,
And
I was like,
you ain't even heard the worst part yet.
oh my gosh, it's crazy.
This man literally was on live and he was like, yeah, this my side bitch. This my side bitch.
That's what he said to her. Face.
Literally
On live.
recording her
Instagram
like, this
live.
my side.
What was she
Literally.
doing?
Just in there behind him. She was
She
saying
was,
stuff,
yeah,
I
but
would have actually.
It was embarrassing.
Oh, look,
Listen,
It's
they would have heard us
embarrassing.
fighting in the background of that live. Like,
but it was
and
so
then he got the
embarrassing.
police called on her and she called a charge.
oh no.
Yeah, he called the police on her. He said,
Yes.
he kept saying, I've been trying to get her out of my house for a week. My thing is, you are the baby. How are you trying to get somebody out of your house? Make it make sense.
But my thing is, if it was so bad, he could have just left too though.
Exactly.
True. You can literally get another house.
Cause that girl got a whole newborn. What you mean she gotta leave? You mean her and the baby?
Right, that's your baby.
And that's what she kept saying. She was like, well, I'm taking my baby with me. But he was like, you can go. Baby can stay here. It's messed up. I was just like, I really lost respect for him because I don't like how he did that. I feel like they could have been kept behind
Closed
closed doors.
Yeah.
It was very
No, for
personal.
sure.
And calling her out her name and just saying stuff like that to her, I just feel like, come on now. That was unnecessary.
But I don't really put nothing past him at this point though. Like all that stuff he done did before
Yeah.
about the whole LGBTQ community, like that man.
Yeah.
And then she ain't no better.
No.
So
she's
it's
not.
like karma. It's like, hey, you do this and then this is what happens.
They both very narcissistic individuals.
So that's what happens, you know.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I hate it happened that way, but when you do people, you know, dirty, that's what happens.
Karma.
It's true.
So, but our next question: how do you feel about healing? And healing, I mean, as far as let's say you were in a relationship and it didn't work out, and you take some time for yourself to heal and grow and learn things about yourself. How do you feel about that before getting into a new relationship with someone? How important do you think that is?
It's a little raw, but okay. This literally happened to me last year. I was in an 8-year relationship and that ended tragically. And I did take time to heal. And I think it's so important before hopping into a new relationship because, like, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship, like, you need to find out what you like to do outside of that person. Like, you're a new person now. Like, a lot of my life was attached to my ex-boyfriend. So, yeah, I just had to take time to, like, figure out what I liked again and, like, figure out who I was before I could present that to someone else. Because if I would have just jumped into another relationship, I would have probably emulated what that person liked to try to impress them instead of just being my authentic self.
And that's another reason why too, when you're getting to know a person, you never tell them what you want in a relationship. Don't tell them that. Don't tell them like what you want in a guy or whatever, because they're gonna try to be somebody who they're not, and eventually you're gonna find out the real them. So
also, I feel like that's important too. I honestly did not take the time to do that. Like, no, I feel you though. I wish I would have, because all the hurt that I went through, I feel like I'm putting that in my current relationship. Not so much so now, because, you know, we communicate, we talk things through and everything, but I feel like I definitely should have done that, because then it wouldn't have gotten to that point where I'm putting that hurt on him. I should have allowed myself, you know, to heal from all of that. So I'm like, okay, this is me. This is not, I'm not in this old relationship. This is something new. This is something good. Let me not sabotage it. But I think that's important. That's really important.
Yeah, I do agree. Before I started dating my current boyfriend, I think we dated for like 9 months, my ex before him, but listen, it was rough. There were so many times where I tried to break up with this man and he was just like, see you tomorrow, and legit would just call me the next day, or it was very toxic. Very, very toxic, and lots of bad things going on. But I think that our relationship was already so far gone at one point that it was kind of like, I just need to get out of this too. Like, kind of like you were saying, I need to get out of this so I can focus on myself at this point. Like, I already know this isn't gonna work. You're just making it really hard to leave you for no reason. Because it was always, oh, well, I feel bad. Well, like, ways to make it like, you can't leave me because this is how it's gonna make me feel. Manipulating me. So it was just like, okay, now I have this time to myself, and I wouldn't say that I reflected on anything as far as like who I am as a person. I don't think I really realized the change that I was having until I started like hanging out with my current boyfriend before we started dating, like, because then I was like, oh, I didn't realize that I was doing this until now, because I'm with, like, hanging out with somebody else that I'm interested in. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Because you kind of realize, like, oh, I might not be seeing this person, but I'm realizing, oh, I actually like doing this thing, but I was being held back because I was trying to be the right person for somebody else in this, like, toxic relationship, you know? And I think that sometimes a part of the healing process is having somebody else there, not necessarily that you're dating, but that brings those parts of you out. Because there's so many things that I didn't know that I liked until I started dating him and hanging out with him. Like, I think that was a big part of my own healing process, in that just being with other people and realizing, oh, it's okay to like these things or act this way and say how I feel about certain things, because I felt so shut down before, you know.
And you weren't dating at the time, right? You were just hanging out.
Yeah, we were just hanging out. Like from August to March of the next year. Like we started dating March of that next year, but that whole time, like we weren't dating.
Yeah.
So it was very different because a lot of other guys in the past, it was kind of like let's hang out, and I would see them for like a month and then okay, bye.
Yeah.
Whatever. But that didn't happen. I mean, he was roommates with one of my really close friends at the time, so I was gonna see him regardless of if anything came from it, and then it did by accident. So it's another one of those like didn't expect it, wouldn't see myself dating him, but it just happened.
And those are like the best relationships.
Yeah, they are.
When you don't expect it, it's like, or you feel like you wouldn't really date anybody like that.
Yeah.
Organic.
And you end up dating them.
Yeah.
It's like, where did this come from?
100%.
Where have you been all my life?
Yeah,
Because I definitely feel you. Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I definitely feel you when you were like in your old relationship. You feel like shut down.
Yes.
Because if I were to speak out and say, "Oh, this is how I feel. You made me feel like this. I'm wrong. I shouldn't feel that way."
You're wrong. You're crazy.
And that's one thing I cannot. Don't make me feel crazy.
Right.
Because I know I'm not. I know how I feel.
Mhm.
Yeah, those
But
are your
why?
feelings.
Exactly. But why is it a problem that I'm expressing it to you? I let you can say whatever you want to say, and I'm supposed to just be like, "Oh, okay."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Toxic.
It is
So toxic.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say too, if you don't heal, then you're more likely to settle like when the next person comes around, because you're just gonna latch on to whatever is showing you affection and love that you don't have for yourself.
Yep.
So
I felt
watch
that
out for
one.
that.
Hey. Ooh, because it was a cycle for me. Like what you just said,
Yes.
it was a cycle for a while, and that's why I was like, when my boyfriend messaged me on Instagram, like, you want to talk to me for real? Do you really want to talk to me?
Right.
But y'all,
Here we are.
just like,
Let's see. Our next question. I think we've already touched on this one. So, okay. So, why do you think men cheat?
Women cheat too.
And women. Why do
Why
you
do
think?
people cheat?
Why do people cheat in general? I'll say that.
Ooh.
Yes, mate.
I am gonna go first on this one. So I have a lot of theories, and I would say that it is a mixture of boredom and being too afraid to tell the person you don't want to be with them anymore. And I think it is also, there are a select few of people that also are not realizing that they might love the person they're with and they might like what they're getting from that second person, and they aren't realizing maybe I just need to be in a relationship where I can be polyamorous. Because I think, like, I actually personally have friends who have been in situations where it was like, I think I want to bring up the topic, like, this is what I'm feeling, I'm looking other places, and I don't want to act on it and hurt them, but I also don't want to hold myself back. And I feel like some people might also be kind of struggling with that. Probably just a select few, but I feel like it's mostly like I'm bored, not happy, don't know how to tell you any of that stuff. And I think communication has a huge part to do with it.
For
Huge part.
Yeah,
Because if you can't tell them,
Exactly.
hey, I feel XYZ, let's fix it. And instead you're like, I'm gonna go hang out with the girls or the boys, and you're hanging out with a single girl or a boy somewhere you don't need to be, then it's like, okay, what's the problem? Because you haven't said anything, so why did you go and do this thing? So there's so
I like
many
that
factors.
theory.
yeah.
So many.
I think-
it makes sense.
I think it may be fear too. Like like you said, the two people may be really in love. That person might really love their significant other, but they're afraid because they haven't experienced something as good as they have, you know?
Okay.
And they're like, okay, well, self-sabotage.
So I was just about to say something.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Because some people, I think it's like a traumatic thing. Like more people that I know that are like this, like have grown up in situations where they only see the same cycles of toxic relationships and toxic behaviors, and they're like,
That's all
okay,
they know.
my mom and dad or whoever grew up raising me didn't act like this, and my relationship seems really oddly nice. And I feel like it needs to be rocky. Like I need a little shake in the
That
strong.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
You know?
That makes sense.
Like, and it's unfortunate, but there are a lot of people that self-sabotage because they don't know how to react when something good happens.
Yeah, it's not what they're used to.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important when raising a child, you try to set, good examples and really try to communicate with your child, because it's the things that they see, that's what is going to reflect on them, right? It's how they're going to handle situations when they become an adult and deal with other people in the world. So it's so important as a child or as a parent to really build a relationship with your child and really teach them how to talk to people, how to interact with people, how to, if you're going to be in a relationship, some things that you should do, because what they see, like kids are like sponges, what they see you do or say, they're going to soak all of that stuff in,
For sure.
and then that's what they're going to think it's okay. So that's what they're going to be doing when they become older for adults.
Yeah, I think it's boredom too. I think boredom is a big one. Of course, social media, like I said before, is a big one. Then just like seeing their options and thinking, oh, I can do better than this, and just not being able to tell their partner like, hey, I don't think, because this is the thing, like sometimes love is not enough in relationships. I mean, you can love somebody, but they're just not be the right person for you.
Yes.
And at the beginning it might be good, but people change as we do. Like it's normal to change and go down different paths. But you just have to have that conversation. It doesn't have to be like, breaking up doesn't have to be traumatic. It's gonna be sad, but like you just have to have the communication to be able to tell your person, like, I don't think that this is right for me, and I need to move forward with my life, and we can, I mean, you're not gonna be friends right away, but like we can still love each other, but just in a different way.
Yeah.
But they're just, and this is the thing too, when people cheat, they don't want to let go of what they have. They want to like test out the waters to see if something else is good out there, and then they're like, okay, well, if something's not good, I'm just gonna go back to this thing I already have.
Like a security blanket.
Yeah, like a security blanket.
Yes.
So if it's good, they'll be like, okay, well, I'll break up with this person, or I'll cheat, or whatever.
And they better hope they don't end up with a crazy person, because
Facts.
listen,
right?
this is a whole other topic. Let me not get into it, because some people be crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. Okay, can't deal.
Okay, so our next question. Is it okay for your partner to accept money or gifts from a friend of the opposite sex?
Yes, as long as there's no malicious intent behind
I
Yeah.
think it's fine.
Yeah. Especially, if that's a real friend, like, and they helping that, your significant other out, and they know they struggling or they going through something, like, oh, here, let me help you. Thank you for helping, like, but if I know the person, like you said, has an underlying, like they scheming, then I'm not.
Yeah.
What if it's a friend that you never met before, or that they never brought up to you before?
I think that would be very strange.
That is suspicious, but I'm gonna try to get the benefit of the doubt first, because, like, oh, who are they? Like, how do you know them?
Why haven't you ever mentioned it before?
Yeah, because there's some people, like, he's brought up and I've been like, who is that?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, somebody from whatever, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah, for me, it's happened before where like my ex was really into this really specific thing. It was like a Japanese thing.
Yeah.
He was into this very specific thing that I wasn't into, and so there was like a group of people in our area that was into it, but only one lived in our city, and it happened to be a girl, so he would go and like, it was like a sport, so they would go and play a sport or whatever, and it wasn't a big deal to me. I didn't care because he told me about it, and I knew about it. It's not like he was going behind my back and like doing something.
Right.
Well, he was.
I mean,
but I mean, if
Not
I'm
then,
with
no.
someone, maybe he's a bad example, but like my relationship now, if he tells me about it, I'm like, I don't care. Just don't try to hide it.
yeah, if you're
That's
hiding
what's
it, then it's
scary.
like
Very suspect.
Why
Yeah.
are you hiding it at all?
Exactly.
If it's supposed to be like an innocent.
Right.
Yeah, like if you're hiding it, it better be like a surprise gift for me at the end.
No, seriously.
'Cause
Like,
I need answers.
And then our last question is, do you think it is a good idea to talk to other people when you're still in love with your ex or having feelings for your ex?
No.
You mean, huh?
You mean like talking to somebody as in trying to be in a relationship with them?
Yeah, dating.
When you're still in love with someone else.
Yeah, or have feelings for your ex.
No.
It ain't gonna work.
Not gonna work for anyone. Everyone's gonna get hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Don't put someone else in that situation. That's one thing. Like,
Situation.
you need to figure yourself out, but don't make someone else feel like they're not good enough. Because, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because they're still thinking about someone else. Like, figure yourself out and stop bringing other people. Because that's super
Exactly.
selfish. in my
Very
opinion.
selfish.
No, it's very selfish,
Yeah.
and it's kind of toxic, honestly.
Mhm.
Because it's going back to, okay, I'm still thinking about this person and what potentially could be, but we can talk and see what happens. But you know, if they said, like right now,
Drop
so
everything,
and so
come back
wants
to
to
you.
be with me,
Exactly.
so I'm gonna go.
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
no, like,
Yeah.
no.
Well, that was all my questions, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed you guys. I really do. Thank you guys for coming. I really,
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have not checked out my previous video, make sure you go and do that. And again, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I post more videos. And don't forget to go check out my previous video from like 2 years ago. Because I'm telling you, it's juicy, okay? Thank you guys. I love you so much. See you next time. Bye.